Welcome to this amazing conference, which is happening on digital and AI. I am Vishakha, PhD scholar from Jamia Millia Islamia University, and I'm here to start the session, which is on gender bodies, digital media, and emotional well-being. So I welcome all the presenters. Uh, for this session. All the rapporteurs, Yushra Siddiqui and Priyanka Das, they are also PhD scholars from Sarojini Naidu Center for Women's Studies. So let's quickly start because there's no use for wasting time for anything. So I will directly start with our first presenter, Shreya Khosla, who is a PhD scholar from Jamia Millia Islamia University, and her topic for presentation is social media and body image perspective of adolescent girls from Delhi. So Shreya Khosla, are you ready for presenting your paper? Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I
I
am.
welcome you for this
Okay.
conference. You can start.
Okay. Okay. I need to share my presentation. Sorry, I won't be able to put my video on. Just I have certain connectivity issues. I hope you guys are able to. Just a moment. I need to just a second. If I'm able to put my content. Uh, Wait a moment. I'm just facing a little bit of problem. Not able. Are you able to see my PPT or anything? I'm sharing the PPT or not?
You can zoom it a little. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to. It's just my window is a bit stuck up here, so that's the problem. I'm just wait a minute. I think it's fine now.
yeah, it's good. It's better. You can start
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can you go for a slideshow?
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to my laptop is a bit stuck. Let me just see. It's just a problem of yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, yeah,
Please
yeah, yeah.
continue.
Okay, it's done. It's done. It's done. No problem. I think it's clear. Okay, so Vishaka has already talked about my topic. I'll just begin with the introduction part to not waste time. Adolescence, as defined by World Health Organization, defines it as a phase of transition between childhood and adulthood, which is depicted by rapid physical, cognitive, and psychosocial growth. In India, there is approximately around 253 million adolescents, which is defined under the age group of 11 to 19. And if to get into the context that as it is a transitional phase, adolescents basically focus on forming their own identities and engage in the context of self exploration by evaluating and comparing their attributes to others. If you go by Eric Erickson's theory of psychosocial development, there's a stage of identity versus identity confusion, and relating it to understanding their own physical attributes. Like, so this oftenly this lead to developing concerns about their body image. Now, the concept of body image is multifaceted and multi-dimensional in its own aspect. It is seen as something which is based on your self-perception and your attitude, encompassing your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors towards how you see yourself. Basically, if you're waking up in the morning, how you see and look in the mirror, and can you accept the person which you look in the mirror, or is there sort of a discrepancy between it? That's what is body image is all about. Now, your appearance can also be positive or negative dependingly. It's completely subjective to you. When the body image is comparatively negative, the dimension emerges which is called body image dissatisfaction. Body image dissatisfaction is basically negative subjective evaluation of your overall appearance, and major causes of it is or the side effects you can see, it's through extreme diets. It also leads to poor self-esteem, as well as extreme level of eating disorders are also parallelly experienced with body dissatisfaction. Social media, if to go, is or specifically media is one of the social cultural influences which impacts basically or affects the body image of adolescent girls. Actually, it's for both adolescent boys and both girls. But in case of girls, the hormonal changes start occurring early. So, the basically the body fat is, in like the changes is comparatively in the younger age group of 12 to 13. So they start developing concerns early as per their age group. And social media as a platform is a space to basically connect, interact, voice your opinions, and where you can know about what is going on in the world, and have groups to discuss about certain things. But it also have a negative side to it, because girls are, specifically teenage and adolescent girls, are indulging more into posting pictures, and there's a game of likes and comments that are being shared, and always they also try to see a form of appraisal or sort of appreciation if they can receive. But at times there are a lot of negative comments or something which is not appropriate for them, or something which is not acceptable for them, that creates a kind of a negative perception. It's basically how you see an idealized context of appearance towards your own body, and the discrepancy which comes in leads to body dissatisfaction. And okay, now I'll move on to my theoretical lens. It's basically social comparison theory, which was given by Festinger. He was a social psychologist, and he gave the context that an individual forms their own opinions or their own beliefs about them through the process of a self growth towards looking towards self growth, and the process it's towards upward comparison or downward comparison. Upward comparison basically talks when an individual wants to be motivated, they would reach out to a role model or an individual who is more or better than them in certain aspects. In case of body major appearance, they look, adolescent girls look upwards to individuals whom they feel are more beautiful according to the standards set by the society, and feel that they can look like them. And downward comparisons, it is with those whom they feel is the not so up to the mark, or sometimes see that they're kind of inferior, to boost their own confidence that they look better than them. And a lot of times these sort of comparisons negatively affect when the adolescent girls fail to meet the idealized appearance expectations, leading to feelings of body dissatisfaction. um, Next is my rationale. Why I've taken Delhi and specifically private schools, because there was a study by NCRT on mental health and well-being, which was done in 2022, and Delhi was one of the spaces, and where they had a variable on body image, and it
Hello,
showed that the
Shreya, you have 2 more minutes left. Okay.
okay. Okay, so I'll just rather go ahead, rather not though they showed that there was the level of confidence which was decreased when you go from primary to secondary school, like going from in 9 to 10th classes to 11th in the age group of 14 to 16. This is my methodology. I did a qualitative phenomenological research design to basically understand, because body image is subjective in its own context. I used an interview schedule, semi-structured interview schedule. It was among 12 participants, and through purposive sampling, it was in-person interviews, and I did thematic analysis. This is some participant information. I just focus on the context of results. First was the perception about body image. The adolescent girls had a different perception about their body image. It was basically a love and hate kind of a relationship, as described by one of the participants. You can see the verbatim here as well, where some other of them had mixed views about it. Like, they were confident about certain aspects of their physical appearance, like their skin color, their hair, but at the same time, they felt insecure about their own body weight and height. So the next theme, which was the appearance comparison, which was done on social media specifically with their own peers, as well as with the context of celebrities. Adolescent girls, in case of celebrities, were more obsessing over the Korean pop stars and the influencers, because as you see, the Korean culture, the pop stars have hourglass figures and they have very clear skin to the context, and the girls looked up to them and were always focusing on how they can look more like them rather than taking on the positive attributes of their talent, but more on, they were focusing more on the physical features and the physical aspects. In case of appearance comparison with their peers, it was like on social media, some received positive affirmation through their close knit of friends, but there were girls who were active on platforms like Snapchat, and through use of filters and images, they felt a lot more insecure, and they tried to compare themselves with those other girls who were gaining more popularity, even among their school as well, or among their peer groups. So there was an unsaid line about the importance of male attention and the sort of validation that they were seeking, because their friends were getting that type of attention. So they felt a little bit bad, or if they were not appreciated for their own appearance. External perspectives talk about receiving
Shreya, just a gentle reminder, we have limited time, so you have to wind up.
Okay. I'm just finishing with this context only. So, external
Okay.
perspective basically focus on teasing, bullying, which the girls have received in person through their family members as well as their peers. A lot of young girls who were actually thinner, that what came to know, were suffering for PCOD, and their family members used to just keep on poking that you're not gaining weight, you do not look appropriate to the Indian society of how girls should actually look at the age of 16, and you won't be able to bear children later on if you're not able to put on weight. So they were very flabbergasted about all of the whole situation. And at the time of COVID as well, there was an insight that came out that they felt very underconfident. They were not able to put on their faces during the online classes because they were not appropriate to other girls who were more confident in themselves. The last point result is regarding gain versus lose, which is regarding weight gain, weight loss. A lot of girls, some of them actually followed extreme diets to lose weight, because of PCOS, someone has gained like 15 kgs of weight in past 2 years. And to come to their normal weight, which they earlier had, was like bit difficult for them. And to accept themselves the way they are, it was really a challenge. So that was what the results. So yeah, so I'm just gonna sum it up. I've given my parts to the study.
You can just directly
Someone conclude.
conclude your study because we have very
Yeah. Okay, no problem.
time. Thank you.
So, yeah, the study presented both negative and positive aspects, but more together, it was the negative impact of social media. As of talking about they were not able to receive the ideal body image. What is the recommendations could be that at the school level, there could be assessment of body image, because we have clinical scales, which is not being done. There could be parental guidance and parental support. Parents could be more involved into the practices. There could be peer support groups as well, and the counseling support, because there are not a lot number of counselors. There are only one counselor who's dealing with a lot number of children in the school, and they cannot focus on one individual student on their appearance or body image related issues. At self level, there could be more of self love, self care, and healthy habits, and more confidence building activities. Okay, thank you. I've tried to done my part as fast as I could. Thanks a lot. Just a second, I'll stop sharing.
Thank you so much, Shreya.
Yeah.
It was nice presentation. And now I will see if there are any questions. So let me check. So Shreya, there is a question. I will directly read the question. There is a question been asked. Are you familiar with the body positivity movement versus the recent body neutrality movement? Wait. Debate. Let me do the question again. Are you familiar with the body positivity movement versus the recent body neutrality movement debate, or what, according to your research, would produce better results?
Vishakha, can I interrupt? Sorry, can we ask questions at the last of our session?
Oh, sure. Okay, then
Yes.
I will ask. I will post the posted question at the end of the this session.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much, Shreya, for the presentation. Now I will go for the next session, which will be given by this Serena Deepa Coelho and Dr. Natasha Maria Gomes. They are the postgraduate assistant professor from Goa University. So the topic is digital passages, gender representation, migration, and play in Bury Me, My Love. So I welcome you, Serena Deepa Coelho and Dr. Natasha Maria. Uh, you may present your topic here now without wasting any time. Thank you, and
Yes.
please you have 7 minutes for presenting. Please take care
Yeah.
of.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
you are. Go ahead.
A very good afternoon to all. Video games today have become an impactful medium of creating awareness and propelling change. Bury Me My Love is one such award-winning game created to narrate the migration story of Noor, who maintains contact with her husband Majd through text messages during her journey to flee war-torn Syria. By allowing players to assist Majd in helping Noor, the players are presented with the opportunity to gain first-hand insights into the experiences faced by refugees. In addition, as Shaw has pointed out, video games actively participate in the construction and negotiation of social and cultural identities. In this context, the representation of gender within digital spaces is particularly important as it has the potential, according to Condis, to reinforce or challenge existing stereotypes and power structures. The proposed study, which is part of my MA dissertation, aims to explore this dimension by focusing on how video games with migratory narratives represent gender identities through both visual and narrative elements. In today's presentation, after presenting briefly the theoretical structure and methodology, we will delve into the analysis and discussion. Laura Mulvey introduced the notion of the male gaze. This dominant heterosexual male gaze reduces the female body to a simple object of desire. Within the gaming community, studies have shown that the female characters are objectified by the way they are dressed and animated. They are designed to function as damsels in distress, passive, and mere ornaments. However, subversion is a culturally creative method used to debunk dominant norms, which, as per Mesdi, is done by asserting female agency, where women are not just mere embellishments, and also through the creation of independent female characters and not as counterparts to a male character. Semiotics, which studies signs in society, presents a prism through which analysis of video games can be done. Within this domain, the concept of connotation and denotation by Roland Barthes introduces to us the idea that a text and visuals can be perceived at the surface meaning as well as at a much profound level. Within this theoretical lens, we seek to analyze the representations of gender in the video game Bury Me My Love. So we chose to use the French version of the game in order to obtain our corpus for two main reasons. Firstly, the creation of the game was inspired by an article in the French newspaper Le Monde. Secondly, the game is published by a French company, Art France, and the main creators are French. In order to answer the three research questions of the study, we engaged in one gameplay, and the raw data was collected and analyzed. On close reading, we have counted a total of 17 groups and 30 characters. 8 of these characters are only referenced in the game, but Noor does not meet them, and those are namely public figures and some of her family members. From this data, we can assume that only the gender binary is referenced in the game, excluding the other identities in the gender spectrum. The study by Westa and Legault shows that games with predominantly male characters are common in the gaming sphere. However, we need to also consider the theme of the current game based on actual examples of migration. While the game centers around the female character, data from human migration shows that it is mostly men who undertake such forced migration. Considering this, having a male protagonist is uncommon, and one can assume that during this journey, she would have encountered men more than females. Now, Noor is a migrant who undertakes this treacherous journey to Europe, showing agency. The data on migration in Europe indicate that there are fewer females who seek asylum than males. This potentially makes Noor a subversive character. As players, we take on the role of Majd, Noor's spouse, and communicate with Noor. While Noor may seek Majid's or the player's advice on certain aspects of her journey, she makes a lot of independent decisions. And on many occasions, she informs Majd or the player about her decisions well after the event has happened. As such, Noor reclaims agency by being a proactive protagonist with her own mind, choices, and perspectives, breaking away from the male gaze. The adult female migrants that Noor meets, namely Zineb, Kelly, and Terry, like her, have braved the vagaries of migration. Meeting other migrants has provided solace for Noor. Zineb, a young mother who was traveling with her baby and nephew, Terry, a journalist, was working in the area and had a history of participating in protests against oppression. This portrayal of courageous females, in a way, challenges the traditional portrayals of women as passive. However, we also see males have a powerful status in the game. For example, the two world leaders mentioned in the game identify as male. The drivers and agents that help migrants in their journeys are all male. Majd makes Noor call a male, Adnan, when she is late for her flight to Beirut. While in the forest as well, Majd, her spouse, tells her to follow Emmanuel for safety, leaving behind Zineb and her baby since they can be a liability. And most importantly, Noor seeks the advice of her husband during all the decisions she makes in her travel. Migrant women are in a vulnerable state and in danger. For instance, Kelly was molested by Ibrahim, one of the male drivers. While males like Adnan, Nasim, and Emmanuel provided safety, males like Ibrahim were portrayed as having a predatory side. Ma'am, Natasha, over to you.
Yes. So we see 6 migrants visually, and we've placed it on screen. And Noor, which is our main character, we see her in most consciously not wearing the hijab, and the other characters do wear a hijab. But at a particular moment in the journey, she chooses to cover her head in order to fit in with the crowd. So clothing in the visuals are very practical and layered, and they symbolize prioritizing function over sexual appeal. And thus, this rejects objectification. Now, we also observe that Noor represents or wears the national colors. We have the green jacket, the reddish pink shirt, and her black hair, which are colors of the Syrian flag. Now, all characters in this game, the visuals of
Ma'am,
it.
just a gentle reminder, we have limit time, so you have to
Yes.
wind up.
Yes, we're almost done.
Yes,
So
ma'am, you
all of the
have 1
characters,
minute left.
yes, we will finish. So we have the characters having darker skin tones, and we do see different shades. So you have the warmer, earthy shades that represent nature and hardship, and the warmer red pinks that represent, sensitivity, bravery, and resilience. So to conclude, like many games, Bury Me My Love portrays the gender binary and not really the gender spectrum. However, unlike traditional games, it revolves around a female protagonist and we see her experiences through various challenges as well as the resilience. This is a female narrative that goes beyond the male desire. She is also morally complex, displaying bravery and vulnerability, ruthlessness, and her nurturing nature. And like other female characters in the game, she also subverts the traditional roles, showcasing courage and agency in the face of difficulty. And with this, we thank you for your patient listening. We will take our questions at a later point.
We'll do the question at the end of the session. Thank you so much, ma'am. This is very interesting topic, digital passages. And well, let's move to the another presentation. The next presentation is by Surabhi Pathak. She is PhD from Birangana Sati Sadhani Rajavik Vishwavidyalaya, Assam. And her topic is Digital Bodies Under Watch, the Politics of Fitness. The Politics of Fitness and Beauty. The Politics of Fitness, Beauty and Transformation in Online Space. Okay, so you may present now. Thank you so much. I welcome you for the presentation.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So a very good afternoon, everyone. I am Surabhi Pathak. The title of my paper is Digital Bodies Under Watch, the Politics of Fitness, beauty, and transformation in online spaces. So the paper mainly reflects on the rise of body transformation trends which are available in the online spaces, and how these body transformation culture enforce aesthetic norms, and it also explores the intersection of gender, digital surveillance, and commercialization of fitness and beauty. So in this digital age, social media has revolutionized communication, transforming how individuals interact, share information, and create content. Social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube have become powerful spaces where body and appearance related transformation trends gain widespread visibility and engagement. So the rise of such body transformation trends underscores not only the visual appeal of bodily change, but also the deeper social, psychological, and commercial forces that driving these narratives. So while these transformations are often termed as personal achievements, they also reinforce gendered body ideals. They also create certain unrealistic expectations and contribute to a market-oriented pursuit of fitness and beauty. So the whole phenomenon of body and appearance based transformation trends on social media can be critically analyzed through the idea of Michael Foucault. Like Foucault argued that modern power operates not through overt coercion, but through disciplinary techniques that regulate bodies and behaviors, creating individuals who internalize social norms and self-regulate accordingly. So in this digital age, social media platforms function as sites of disciplinary power where the users are subjected to continuous body surveillance through likes, comments, and visibility. So this pervasive display of before and after transformation videos reinforces normative beauty and fitness standards that also condition individual to monitor, regulate, and modify their bodies in pursuit of socially sanctioned ideals. So when we analyze the body transformation trends or the videos, posts which are available online, we will be able to see that there is a gender dimension of the body transformation trends that are available in the digital space. So the transformation trends differ significantly in their portrayal of men and women's bodies. For example, men's transformation videos typically emphasize muscle gain, fat loss, strength building, reinforcing the idea of masculinity tied to discipline, endurance, and a sculpted physique. In contrast, a woman's body transformation videos tend to focus more on weight loss, toning, and aesthetic sculpting rather than sheer muscle gain. So this like before and after visual in these videos often depict a transition from a undesirable body shape, whether it's of a man or a woman. It often depict a transition that a transition from an undesirable body, undesirable, which is in an undesirable shape and size, to a more aesthetically appealing form, enhanced by better posture or like body shape and size, and also makeup application. So this framing subtly implies that femininity is also linked to attractiveness, desirability, and self-presentation. So despite the gender differences, both men and women engaging in transformation content are subjected to pressure of idealized body standards. So the concept of body transformation has become so deeply embedded in online media nowadays, because like particularly in the platform like Instagram, because if we see that like the hashtag body transformation in Instagram has over 11 million posts. This widespread digital culture is further
Hello.
reinforced by
You have 2 more minutes left.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, this widespread digital culture is further reinforced by the rise of fitness and health tracking applications like Healthify Me, Fitness, MyFitnessPal, etc. So, these apps actually enable people to track their lifestyle overall. Like how they are monitoring their calories. They are monitoring everything from their body shape, size to everything, what they are eating, how they are exercising, everything. So they are self-surveilling themselves, and and also the increased availability of fitness coaches online for example, in Instagram has also contributed to the expansion of this trend, with many offering structured program for weight loss. Like these fitness coaches or trainers, they often post programs like 7-day fat loss challenge or 30-day transformation program, etc. So while what I'm trying to imply is that while these trends can be beneficial in promoting health consciousness and encourage individual to adopt a more active lifestyle, but they also create a subtle yet pervasive pressure to conform specific body ideals. So to conclude my paper, I would like to mention that both male and female body transformation trends which are available online, they are deeply embedded with the commercialization of self-improvement. Even though these trends they actually implying that these are only for self-improvement, but the idea of self-improvement is highly commercialized as social media platform serve as a powerful site for promoting certain products and services. So the present paper mainly reflect on the growing influence of social media in shaping societal ideals of appearance, fitness, and self-improvement. While these trends offer motivation, community engagement, and platforms for self-expression, they also perpetuate unrealistic beauty standards. They also reinforce gendered body expectation and also contribute to heightened self-surveillance. Thank you. That would be all.
Thank you, Suri Pathak. What an enlightening topic. Yeah, basically the transformation narratives actually very well reflect and reshape contemporary gender identities. Quite agreed with this thing. Thank you for presenting such an enlightening topic. Now I may invite for Varshini next presentator who are they are Varshini Priya B and Dr. Kailash Salvi RH. They are research scholar and assistant professor from Auxilium College, Tamil Nadu, and their topic is Price of Visibility: The Emotional Burden of Marginalized Gender in Digital Space. So I welcome the presenter. The space is yours. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. May I know that if I'm audible or not? Am I audible? Can anyone answer?
Yes, you are.
Thank you for the opportunity. So my topic is the price of visibility, the emotional burden of marginalized gender in digital space. So today the present era has been considered more like a digital era rather than considered as a contemporary era. So the digital space has become an internal part of everyone's life. This rapid expansion of this space has actually dramatically changed the emotional well-being, particularly in the marginalized gender, which is mostly women. So the thing that I'm covering in my paper is that how do the psychological consequences that are been affecting the women in the present AI digital world with the deepfakes pornographers of the people. So the term deepfake came into the existence by the forum called Reddit in 2017, showcasing these manipulated images of people and using the AI techniques. So this actually manipulate the reality where the deepfake images have gained attention for the ability to manipulate reality with stunning authenticity. This application of AI in deepfake span from entertainment to misinformation and cybercrime. So I have included two real life incidents in my paper in order to talk about the deepfake. So one of the person is Rashmika Mandana, who we all know, one of the top actors in India. In November 2023, a deepfake video of hers has been served in the online where her face is being morphed onto the another person's body, and that video had went like a million views, highlighting the influence of the deepfake technology. And another one is an international celebrity who is Taylor Swift, where in early 2024, a deepfake image of Taylor Swift has surfaced in the social media platform. So these have actually affected the people without, because without their consent, their image has been damaged. So Rashmika Mandana in the social media, she actually mentioned that she was really deeply hurt by this deep fake videos. And as for many articles who went on talking about these deep fake things, they only meant only one thing, where this deep fake or like a form of synthetic media crafted using the artificial intelligence, it actually emphasizes the sophisticated algorithm to manipulate both visual and audio element. So our Union IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav actually gave an advice to the social media people, stating that in order to keep the media in a very authentic way, they have to like take necessary steps to identify whether the information is true or not, so that they don't have to like go through all the issues that's been given. And why I want to select this topic is deep fake has been surfing in our place from 2010, where one of the girl from India had committed suicide. So I want to take this topic because just because they are celebrities, they came out and they spoke and they had their way in the society. But if a common people has been marked by the thing, they won't have the way to like go on and defend their thing. Yeah, it affects women more than men because as for men, they don't provide any obscene picture or something else. But as for women, they don't go on with a closed picture and all. They will always go on some obscene picture. So what I wanna tell from through my article is that if a social media is giving out some information, they have to go with authenticity first. So they must invest in improving the AI-driven content moderation tool to effectively detect and remove the deepfake content before they are being established in any social media platform. So these incidents serves as a reminder that digital gender-based violence is not just celebrity, but it's actually a societal one, affecting women across different profession and world. And the main people, though it has been celebrities who are affected, it's still considered as a societal problem that has been surfacing in our and like present world. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, what an enlightening presentation. Thank you so much for focusing on these problems which is there in society going on. So without wasting time, I welcome the other presentator, which is Dr. Tamanna. She is an assistant professor from Rai Sports University, Haryana, and her topic is digital landscapes and emotional well-being, the impact of technology on marginalized communities in the speculative fictional realm. So, Dr. Tamanna, the space is yours. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You can
Hi,
resume.
everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I want to talk about how The Waste Tide by Chen Qiufin critiques technological capitalism, misinformation, and data exploitation, especially through an ecofeminist lens. The novel presents a world where environmental destruction and digital oppression go hand in hand, disproportionately impacting women and marginalized communities. But this isn't just a dystopian warning, it's a call to action. Through digital colonialism, gendered exploitation, and the spread of misinformation, the waste tide forces us to ask who really benefits from technological progress, and more importantly, how can we resist? In the waste tide, Silicon Isle isn't just a backdrop. It's a symbol of a global capitalist system that thrives on invisibility. The elite benefit from technological advancements, but at what cost? The novel makes it clear the real cost is human and ecological destruction. The Liu, Lin, and Chen clans act like today's big tech monopolies, controlling labor, data, and environmental resources without accountability. Minister Guo isn't just a politician, he is a symbol of how global capitalism operates. His policies protect corporate interests while sustaining systemic oppression, much like tech giants shaping our digital world today. We are often told that technology is empowering, that it connects us, drives innovation, and creates opportunities. But Mimi's story completely dismantles this myth. The real winners of technological progress aren't the poor or marginalized, they are the corporate elite. Tech doesn't liberate them, it exploits them here. One of the most urgent critiques in The Waste Tide and in our world today is the rise of digital misinformation. Corporate and political forces manipulate narratives to exploit both human and digital resources, shaping public perception in ways that serve their interests. In the novel, The Elite Framework, e-waste recycling as an economic opportunity, hiding the suffering of waste workers behind a facade of progress. There is no different this is no different from real world corporate greenwashing, where companies use digital propaganda to downplay environmental destruction and labor violations. The commodification of women's bodies in digital spaces through Mimi's assault and its digital circulation reveal how online violence disproportionately targets women. In reality, deepfake technology, revenge videos, and gender disinformation are used to silence and shame women, especially those from marginalized backgrounds. What's worse, the people most affected often lack access to digital platforms to tell their stories. Who controls the narrative? Who gets erased? The novel makes it painfully clear digital capitalism thrives on surveillance and exploitation, bearing the struggles of the marginalized under layers of corporate misinformation and algorithmic manipulation. Ecofeminism here teaches us that the destruction of the environment and oppression of women are deeply connected. The Waste Tide embodies this idea through Mimi's character, as she is doubly marginalized, first as an exploited waste worker and second as a victim of technological control. Mimi's forced transformation into a cyborgized entity isn't empowerment, it's a warning. The novel suggests that technology can erase both natural and feminine identities, reducing women to digital commodities. We see real world parallels in biosurveillance, reproductive control, and AI driven exploitation, where women's bodies are monitored, regulated, and even sold as data. The novel also exposes the new colonial practice of dumping toxic waste in developing nations, where women suffer the worst consequences of environmental toxicity. This reflects real world labor exploitation, where women in the global south work in hazardous conditions with minimal protection and zero autonomy. Mimi's forced biosurveillance is a stark parallel to how digital capitalism tracks, exploits, and controls women's autonomy, much like the data mining of reproductive health information today. The Waste Tide forces us to ask, are digital advancements truly liberating, or are they just new tools of control? Or are we really free in a digital world? Augmented reality helmets and neural implants promise empowerment, but at the end, they end up being tools of surveillance and compliance, a clear warning against unchecked technological capitalism. One of the novel's strongest arguments is that environmental destruction and digital alienation are deeply interconnected. As natural ecosystems collapse, people are forced into urbanization and digital dependence, reshaping how they interact with the world. Displaced communities that once lived sustainably with nature now rely on digital platforms for work, identity, and social connection. This creates a sense of alienation where people feel disconnected from both nature and real world consequences of environmental degradation. The toxic industrialized setting forces characters into a hyper technological existence, showing how technological progress often comes at the cost of ecological devastation. The novel warns that unchecked technological expansion erases not just landscapes but also cultural and human identities. Health and emotional well being has been linked to digital and environmental toxicity. Pollution isn't just about physical health, air and water contamination lead to chronic illnesses, while the loss of green spaces erodes emotional well being. The character's declining health mirrors real world environmental crises where marginalized communities suffer the most. Also, digital harassment is just another form of toxicity. Chen Kiffen here draws a direct parallel where the toxicity of digital space reflects the toxicity of polluted environments. Marginalized individuals, especially women, are more vulnerable to online harassment, surveillance, and exploitation. This compounds mental health struggles, making it clear that digital and environmental injustices are two sides of the same oppressive system. Despite the overwhelming control of
Just a
technology,
gentle reminder, Dr. Tamanna, you have only 2 minutes left. We have
Sure, ma'am.
limited time, sorry.
Sure, ma'am. Despite the overwhelming control of technology, The Waste Tide suggests that resistance is possible. The novel doesn't just critique digital capitalism, it also explores ways to reclaim technology for empowerment. The Waste Tide exposes this exact problem as Mimi wants development for her people, but instead she is exploited and stripped of her identity. Mimi's fate aligns with what Vanna Shiva calls maldevelopment, or the progress that benefits the elite while exploiting the environment and marginalized bodies. Mimi's journey doesn't end in destruction. She ultimately embodies a hybrid ecology, neither fully human nor fully technological. And this challenges the reader to rethink the relationship between technology, capitalism, and environmental justice. Mimi's journey forces us to ask, what kind of digital future do we want? The Waste Tide warns against an unchecked exploitative system, but it also offers hope for a world where technology and nature can coexist in balance rather than destruction. I'll just wrap up. Ecofeminism offers a radical rethinking of digital spaces, one that envisions a world where technology, nature, and marginalized communities exist in harmony. It directly challenges patriarchal and capitalist structures that treat both women's bodies and environment as disposable commodities. By applying ecofeminist principles, we can advocate for regenerative and inclusive technological models, decentralized, community-driven digital ecosystems, a technological future that prioritizes justice over unchecked expansion. As we stand at the crossroads of a technological and environmental crisis, the question is no longer whether digital capitalism is unsustainable. The real challenge is whether we will continue down a path of extraction and exploitation or choosing a future where technology serves both people and the planet. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tamanna. Exactly, this is a question for everyone. What kind of this digital space like the AI is going to cooperate in coming time with the human? I am seeing Dr. Atvar Shah's comment for all of us to ponder, and I also think in that direction. Thank you so much, sir, for giving this general comment, for pondering us. I totally agree. Like, how much are we assuming on AI? How is it going to transform the society, and is it going to cooperate with us? And now, This is the time for questioning. There is a question for Shreya. Hello, Shreya.
Yeah, I'm here.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt. Because my name was put up in the session and I wasn't called. My name is Mamta.
Sorry.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Vishaka, you have escaped.
Yes,
Yes, price of
yes.
visibility. Yes,
I'm
yes.
really sorry, Ji Mamta. I'll just call for the next presentator. I think I missed it somehow. Anyway, so the session is not over yet. I'm really sorry. This is part of my mistake. So I will call the next presentator, G. Mamta. She's a PhD scholar from Jamia Millia Islamia University, and her topic is body image and gauge, the growth of online paparazzi culture in Kerala. So G. Mamta, you can present now.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Mamta, and first of all, I would like to thank Sarojini Naidu Center for Women's Studies for this opportunity to present my paper. My paper titled Body Image and Gaze, the Growth of Online Paparazzi Media in Kerala examines the evolution of paparazzi culture and the body image and gaze that are exemplified by the paparazzi new media in Kerala, with an emphasis on some of the recent cases by theoretically placing them. So before the advent of the online media platforms, weekly magazines were a popular source of entertainment and gossip in Kerala. And Nana is one of the popular magazines which began the publication around the 1970s. So an observation of the Nana magazine archives provide an insight into the kind of content that they circulated earlier, which included pictures from shooting sets or the family photographs of celebrities, etc. But the contemporary online paparazzi media channels have evolved in a different way, and they have a different approach in the content creation, which works via surveillance and gaze. So gaze in my paper illustrates how the social media channels represent women by objectifying their bodies. So the vision is seen as an important element of surveillance, and the experience of being watched is something which is highly gendered in nature. So visual dominance has clear replication with gender dynamics, because surveillance is gendered as the people behind the camera are mostly males and the people under surveillance are disproportionately females most of the times. So social media channels constantly scrutinize women's body by adding captions that indirectly reflect upon their physical features. So people perceive and treat the celebrities in public places as well in Kerala based on their gaze and portrayal that is facilitated by these online paparazzi medias. There have been incidents of catcalling and intimidations that these women experience, which eventually lead to the feeling that their bodies are the objects that everyone has a license to comment on. So some of the theoretical perspectives that could be applied to this phenomenon is the objectification theory, which is proposed by Fredrickson and Roberts, that illustrates a framework for analyzing the processes that links the objectification and body dissatisfaction among females. So in reference to the objectification theory, women living in a culture that constantly sexualizes the female body has a tendency to internalize a observer's perspective on their own bodies, thus treating themselves as an object to be looked at and evaluated based on their appearance. So the perspective termed self-objectivation comes into play here, which often corroborate in the body surveillance or the individual habitually monitoring her outward appearances. So in addition, according to the objectification theory, body surveillance can produce negative emotional experiences like body shame, which is an emotion that occurs when people evaluate themselves relative to some internalized or cultural ideal. So this may eventually contribute to many mental health issues such as body image distortion and eating disorders among people. So my paper is primarily based on the analysis of the videos that is being published on social medias by these online paparazzi channels. So the major central point that needs to be analyzed here is that how are the females and influencers represented by these media? So the major celebrity paparazzi video handles in Kerala often post pictures of their celebrities past and the present by making speculations of, okay, how they might have increased their weight and how they have changed their body dynamics and so on. So the videos are just not limited to the moments of any events or a inauguration ceremony or anything. They also post each and every minute thing that these people do by turning even basic activities into something that is outlandish. For example, if a woman celebrity is seen driving a car, the constant question that they will be asking is like, okay, did you drive along the car? Which is like making something outlandish out of a woman driving a car. So the questions varies from did you drive along to when are you planning to get married and how good was your honeymoon? All these above mentioned questions which were posed by these online medias are completely the violation of the personal boundaries and ethical standards that is to be followed. So one of the recent cases that happened in Kerala is one between an actress called Honey Rose and a derogatory comment that was thrown by a businessman in Kerala publicly. So Honey Rose, she is a popular actress in Kerala, and she is someone who is often bullied in the social media for her body structure, outfits, and is deliberately shot by the media in angles that exaggerate her body dimensions. So recently, this businessman in Kerala, he made a derogatory comment about her buttocks, and some so-called activists in Kerala, in this scenario, they accused the actress, the woman who was being harassed, for being indecent in her dressing and calling her immoral in many aspects. So the question that everybody needs to think is that what exactly defines decency and immorality, and why is the female victim always questioned in the name of indecency and immorality here? So to understand that, Foucault's work on the concept of power is something which can be applied to this situation, which can be observed now. So according to Foucault, the concept of power has shaped society for what we see today. That is, power acts upon the body. The female body has always been a symbol of objectification in many aspects. It was the patriarchy and misogyny that dictated and enforced the hegemonic characteristics that reduced the women to the so-called duties and responsibilities of womanhood. So from my digital ethnographic observations, I found out that the resistance by female celebrities against the harassers are always questioned because of the concept of power on the body. So if a female shows some sort of a dissent or disinterest against the people who cross the limits of their boundaries during a selfie, the victim is likely to be blamed by the audience. That is a tendency that could be observed in my digital ethnography. So the comments in that videos goes on questioning and comparing the intimate roles that these actors might have portrayed in their movies, comparing it with their real life acts. So another example is that in a very recent film promotion that happened in Kerala recently, and the actress was seen wearing a sari with a deep neck blouse. And the paparazzi media, and that incident shows how the paparazzi media plays an important role in facilitating this, derogatory remarks and hatred among actresses. So the paparazzi media had made the deep neck blouse of her sari the entire focus of their content, and they had it captioned saying that Kerala women should learn how to wear a sari from the actress. So obviously it was an indirect facilitation of character assassination towards the woman who was being represented in that video. And the
Varshini,
comments.
just a gentle reminder, you have 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I'm winding up. Yeah. So so the video kind of facilitated a lot of character assassination in the comment section. Many women came up commenting that we shouldn't be learning from people like her and degrading the women who was being represented. So as the concluding remarks, I would like to say that self-objectification comes as an outcome of this gaze and surveillance that is facilitated by the media channels in Kerala these days. And it contributes to the development of some internalized sense of vigilance among people about their own body and the physical appearances, which frequently results in the eating disorders and anxiety and depression and other mental health disorders. So people who have been often bullied in social media, they have come up and said that they were going through a lot of emotional trauma after these constant bullying and so on. So an examination of the media handles in my study highlighted that the complexity of patriarchy and misogyny that is embedded in the society, that is deeply embedded in the society, is the primary reason for all these kind of activities being promoted even in the 2025. So these are the major findings of my paper. Thank you.
So much, Ji Mamta. You truly said how these paparazzi shaping this your topic about the body image and gaze about. So thank you so much, and I'm really sorry I didn't I totally forgot speaking your name because I was carefully examining, but now I think all the presentations are done, and so I am very thankful for all the presentators for doing such an amazing work on gendered bodies, digital media and emotional well-being. Now the time for the question. So there is a question being asked for to Shreya. So Shreya, are you ready for the question? I will read it. Read it now.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I've already read it.
I can
You
read
go
it,
ahead,
Shreya.
then you
I
can
can
answer.
read it. So the question is that are you familiar with the body positively movement versus the recent body neutrality movement debate? First part is that. And the second is what, according to your research, would produce better results?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the question. Yes, I am familiar with both the contexts. Body positivity movement is more connected to the idea of self-worth and self-love, and which is something which is accepting your body completely and showing more as acceptance of love. And versus the body neutrality movement is connected, not focusing on the aspect of self-worth or self appearance. It's focusing completely on the overall well being and on the functional aspects as well as the emotional aspects of the body, just not on the appearance context, which is basically promoted through body positivity. Now, my take would be to go for the context of body neutrality through my research, because if you look on social media, there is a lot of toxic positive body positivity, like a lot number of women who are even not that confident about their own body, just to gain likes or gain acceptance, look after the context of body positivity and just try to post comment to be accepted. But if we are going to adopt body neutrality, specifically in terms of adolescent girls and in the context of schools, they can go for more gender sensitized and a neutral kind of a language, where teachers, specifically in the Indian culture, we are being socialized to speak in a very simple context, especially to women, just to make remarks on their own body and their own appearance. Even in terms of uniforms, if a girl is wearing a short skirt, she is seen in a very different context. But what the teachers and the schools can actually do is promote more yoga, focus on the nutritional and the health aspects, and engage more women to look at their bodies more in the whole well-being context, physical, emotional, mental, and in the complete aspect. I hope I have answered the question. Is there anything else? Ask. Hello.
Okay, so we can move on to the next question. Thank you for answering, Shreya.
Okay.
So the next question is addressed to Ms. Suravi. So what are your main takeaways from your research on digital bodies and online spaces?
Okay, so my research mainly highlight how digital spaces, particularly social media platform like Instagram, shape contemporary body ideals through body transformation trends. So mainly, if I would like to describe about the main takeaways of my research, first of all, I would like to mention about gendered body surveillance, like how these trends in social media reinforcing traditional beauty and body related norms where both men and women feel pressure to achieve certain kinds of body ideals which are expected of them. For example, women feel pressure to achieve thinness, youthfulness, flawless skin, etc., where men are more pushed towards muscularity and strength. Then there is also through these trends, one is another thing is reinforced, that is the paradox of empowerment. So while transformation trends are often framed as self-improvement and empowerment, but they simultaneously contribute to body dissatisfaction. Then again, there is also, we can see the market influence. For example, social media play a like what we I have been discussing is that social media plays an important role in shaping body ideals, but both beauty and fitness industry actually commercialize body transformation and making, and they are actually making the concept of self improvement, self discipline as a consumerist pursuit. And who are the section of people who are actually the target audience, who are the main who are the main people who are actually consuming these kind of contents, and they are and applying them to themselves. So it's like it is important for us to look that whether there is a class divide or not. And again, why one important insight from my research is that I borrowed Foucault's concept in my research to show that digital space actually function as a site of body discipline. So what kind of power this digital space and their contents actually creating on ourselves, and how we are constantly engaging in a kind of self-regulating culture where user in social media willingly engage in self-regulation, like they are driven by social validation in online spaces through likes, share, comments, etc. So okay, that will be all from my side.
Thank
I
you.
hope
Thank
I
you so
answered
much.
the question.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, you did. Thank you.
So the next question is to Varshini Priya. So are you there?
Yeah, ma'am.
Maybe you answered earlier, but I again read it. Does obscene deepfakes affects women more than men?
Yeah, ma'am, because as the question goes, it doesn't mean like deepfake is not being like done on men or something. Even Sachil Tendulkar or Amitabh Bachchan went through this, but it is for commercial purpose. But at present, after 2017, deepfake has been like a potential weapon that is being used by the cyber criminals in order to damage the reputation of a particular individual. And that individual is mostly women, because only when the women has been involved in these obscene deepfakes and all, men are not involved in the obscene deepfakes. They just use their image in order to gain popularity. They are not targeted, or their reputation is not spoiled. They didn't lose their autonomy, they didn't lose their self, they didn't lose their reputation or anything. It's just women are losing. So I feel like obscene deepfake affect women. There is no, like, I won't say no, but as for I went through my research, I didn't see any obscene deepfakes that actually targeted men or like that gender community especially. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, Yudhi, thank you so much. So the next question is to either Tamanna or Varshini. So just a few months ago, deepfakes of Rana Ayub were circulated on social media. So do you think deepfakes could increasingly be weaponized as a tool of state repression to silence dissent? So in such cases, when the state itself is against you, what recourse do you have as a woman?
Can you go on with the question once more? I lost the track a little bit.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'll just ask again. So, just a few months ago, deepfakes of Rana Ayub were circulated on social media. So, do you think deepfakes could increasingly be weaponized as a tool of state repression to silence dissent? And in such cases, when the state is against you, what recourse do you have as a woman?
If it's my opinion, I will say I don't think we can actually go on and go on evolution and stop going on with the AI and all. AI has become a part of our life. We have to move on with it anyway. It doesn't matter. So I feel like media has the control over it, and as a present generation, as we are the uh, postures of the future, I feel like it is more of not in our control. They like people go on like as like the previous like in a prior age, it was all about the gossips where it underwent and all. Nowadays it is just social media where they are ruining the reputations. So I feel like we can't take a control over it, we can't do anything about it. But it's just that we can just think for a moment, and we can like have a thinking like whether this person can do it or not. That's it. I don't think there is any way that we can actually literally stop these things from going on. So that's the thing I can say as a woman from this thing.
Thank you for answering that question.
All right, there is a question for Mamta from Keanu. Actually, hello, Mamta. So
Hi,
she
hi.
read a statement in a sense like you might have noticed how a set of women responded to as a mass when a specific actress who was a child artist later posted on Instagram photo which shows this actress is Anaswara who was slut shamed and trolled, and finally women have legs movement launched by other celebrities who now joined as posted their similar pic. So she wants to ask the question over the statement like, have you also noticed any such resistance movement against paparazzi media and misogynist people, mostly men, other than this? So she has this
Uh,
one question first.
yes. I think she's talking about the Anashwara Rajan incident, which happened few years back, where she was bullied for wearing a shorts. So another resistance movement that recently happened was like the case that I mentioned about Honey Rose, since because after a short time I couldn't mention about the case that she registered. She did register a case against Bobby Chemanur, and based on her complaint against the social media bullying that she had faced, 30 people were booked based on the derogatory comments that they posted in social media. That is one form of resistance that she did. And she made a Facebook post saying that she has declared war against all the people who are doing sexual innuendos in online medias and so on. So paparazzi is the people who made the videos of Honey Rose viral, and they did facilitate to a greater extent for her being bullied in the society. Then answering the second question, like do you think paparazzi has biases when they slut shame women from dominant or subaltern backgrounds? Personally, I have felt yes, because um, for example, like there was a person who became famous through Big Boss. Her name is Nadira Meherin, and she is a trans woman. And the videos that posted by paparazzi about Nadira often indirectly mocks her appearances. Like, okay, she is looking so pretty in this particular female attire. That indicates a indirect facilitation of hatred against the trans women, because since she is a trans woman, like how cute she is looking in a female clothing. So such kind of comments, which is facilitated by the media, kind of, bring some indirect comments from the society, or okay, then, and the comment section sees like this is a person who is a trans woman. So earlier that person used to identify in the name of Najib. So people used to comment like, okay, Najib is looking cute in a female attire. So all those things is for against the marginalized communities. Obviously, yes, there are certain biases by the medias from my
So,
observation. Yeah.
sorry for interruption, Ji Mamta. Thank you so much. Actually, we have to end the session now.
Yeah,
We-
okay.
Sessions are aligning. So I invite now Priyanka to give vote of thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishaka. So, thank you to all the presenters. It was an enlightening session, and to all the guests. And Vishaka, you have been a wonderful host. And thank you for this session once again. Yeah, that's it.